First at 4, breaking news at this local cemetery. Crews digging up graves. What's going on here? We're at the scene with new information on what's happening. Ben.
Karen, we got the rain out of here, but we got more chances before the weekend. We'll run those down and your holiday forecast coming up. Sandra.
She was told she'd never finish college or work her dream job.
To recover from mental illness at all, I needed to ignore hope stealers.
She proved them all wrong. Now see how she's stopping the stigma of mental illness. Next.
Hi there.
Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. What a scene. Sky 4 was just flying over the Knollwood Cemetery in Canton Township. From the air, we could see crews digging at grave sites. This story breaking right now. Local 4's Rod Maloney is there. So, Rod, what is going on and who's doing the digging?
Okay, well, this is a joint effort out here, Karen, at the Knollwood Cemetery. The FBI, Michigan State Police, and Detroit Police are out here. Evidence teams, the FBI Evidence Response Team is here. I'm going to step out of the shot so we can show you as they're wrapping up. They have been digging here since 8 o'clock this morning. You can see that there are officers in white suits, look like almost hazmat suits. And what they have been doing is they've been digging up graves. Now, this is the scene on the ground. Let's take it up now to Sky 4 and show you what it looked like here today. The reason they have been digging in this cemetery and digging up graves is because this is what's known as a pauper's cemetery. In other words, if you were an unidentified person and nobody claimed you, the medical examiner would then send your body to be buried here at the cemetery. And in fact, it has been used for that purpose since 1995. And so what has transpired over the years is that there have been many, many missing persons cases that they have been trying to solve. And one of the problems that they had in this process is that they did not have DNA evidence from a lot of the bodies in this cemetery. And it's likely that many, we know for certain some of them are connected to homicide cases. So the dig itself is not criminal. There's not anything being done other than to collect DNA from the bones of the bodies that were put into these graves. But they are trying to take that DNA information and tie that to other cases such as homicide cases. So there's a lot to talk about here, a lot to unravel, and we'll certainly have more coming up on Local 4 News at 5 o'clock. Much of the information we've gathered hasn't even come from DPD. We're still waiting to get the official word from them, and we hope to have that by 5 o'clock. So reporting now live from Canton, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, we know the story is breaking. We'll let you get back there to talking to your sources. We appreciate it, Rod. Meantime, several ATVs and small motorcycles have been seized, and this is going on the city's east side. Detroit police routed them up during a surveillance operation in the area of Harper and Beaconsfield. No one was arrested. The seizure comes after scenes like this have been playing out on Detroit streets. People on ATVs and mini bikes just joyriding through the streets. New at 5, Police Chief James Craig has a message for anyone thinking about doing this in the future. Well, this is President Donald Trump. He was walking into the Rose Garden after walking out of a meeting with key Democrats. His new message this afternoon: we cannot do business until you stop investigating me. Let's get to Kimberly Gill, who has the president's comments and Democrats' reaction. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. The president was meeting with Democrats to talk about a major infrastructure program. Well, he walked out frustrated with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi accusing him of a cover-up in the Russia probe. He denies any cover-up, and he's drawing a line in the sand. Listen.
I told Senator Schumer, Speaker Pelosi, I want to do infrastructure. I want to do it more than you want to do it. I'd be really good at that. That's what I do. But you know what? You can't do it under these circumstances. So get these phony investigations over with.
To watch what happened in the White House would make your jaw drop. Hello? There were investigations going on 3 weeks ago when we met. And he still met with us. But now that he was forced to actually say how he'd pay for it, he had to run away.
Now, we seem headed for a standoff where the president won't work with Democrats until they call off their investigations. Much more on this tonight at 5, Karen, including where things stand on possible impeachment proceedings. We'll send it back to you for now.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
We've seen how dangerous severe weather can be this week across the plains, states, into the Midwest. This is video from central Missouri where there's flooding and also tornado damage today. And that's why Ben Bailey is in Sterling Heights this afternoon. He's talking about storm safety and weather radios, which we really all need in our homes, Ben.
Yeah, Karen, it has been a rough week for folks in the Plains states, and we got off light here this weekend in Macomb County. The warning was out for a possible tornado that didn't actually materialize, so that's good, but it got a lot of folks thinking you got to be prepared as we head into the traditional start of summer this weekend. We'll talk more about our radio day here in just a second, but current temperatures outside, now that the rain is gone and the clouds have started to part, not too shabby. We're looking at numbers outside that are close to average for this time of year. You see that shot looking down over Mount Clemens. 59 in Port Huron's the cool spot, but a lot of us in the 60s. Notice that those winds have now started to shift around to the south. There still is a lakeshore flood advisory for Wayne and Macomb counties until 6 p.m. as there's a little bit of an onshore flow still against the lake. So we'll talk more about that. And of course, look at your Memorial Day weekend forecast. All coming up in a few minutes. By the way, we are at the Meijer in Sterling Heights. I forgot to tell folks that. So come on out and see us. We'll be here till 6:30 tonight. Karen?
All right. Thank you, Ben. Did you know 1 in 5 of us live with a mental health condition, and it's something many are afraid or sometimes ashamed to discuss? One challenge, the stigma surrounding mental illness. Our Sandra Ali is kicking off a special event today with the story of one woman who's beating mental illness and spreading hope for others.
Sherry Rushman focuses on giving hope to others, especially those suffering with mental illness.
I was a peer support specialist.
She's an education specialist for Oakland Community Health Network, teaching others how to recover from mental health.
To recover from mental illness at all, I needed to ignore hope stealers.
She understands because she lives with severe mental illness. First diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia in the early 80s. Mental health providers said she would never get a college degree, never get her dream job. She's proved them all wrong.
I teach people to be hope givers and to never steal a person's dream away from them.
She loves her job and is grateful to those in her life who've supported her. She calls them all hope givers.
Hope givers believe in people's dreams and their goals, and they don't say it's unrealistic. In the past, for a long time, there's been a lot of stigma. They didn't believe that I could get a college degree, work, have children, or anything that I did do. And they've been putting that on everybody who has a mental health disorder.
She created the Hope Giver Award, recognizing people who support others. Her boss was one of her first recipients.
Giving out these awards helps people with mental illness realize that there's people out there to help them, that they're not alone.
Sherry says all of us can be hope givers by
not be judgmental, to validate people's feelings, especially when they are sharing something,
and understand what mental illness really is.
For people that you run into that maybe make a joke about people with mental illness, you need to educate them right there on the spot. You need to let them know that it is a disease. It is a chemical imbalance. It is something that the person could not help. And even though they may say or do things that seem funny, it is a very serious illness.
Sherry says something as simple as smiling at someone in the grocery store can really bring hope. If you want more information on the talks Sherry gives or the resources available at the Oakland Community Health Network, it's part of our mental health resource page on our website, clickondetroit.com. I'm Sandra Ali. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Sandra. And right now, experts are standing by to answer your questions about mental health. The number is on your screen, 313-298-WDIV. And these people are from the Detroit-Wayne Mental Health Authority, Oakland Community Health Network, and Macomb County Community Mental Health. And they will be here until 6:30 this evening if you would like to call. Our special coverage continues on Local 4 News at 5. Dr. McGeorge shows you where to start if you or a loved one need some help with your mental health. Then at 6, Defender Kevin Dietz focuses on first responders who come face to face with mental illness every day. Are they properly trained? Experts examine a police run gone bad, caught on video. So make sure to stay with us. Breaking news, the University of Michigan has reportedly hired former Fab Five great Juwan Howard as the new head basketball coach. The deal reportedly for 5 years. Howard, who beat out Michigan assistants for the job, will be a head coach for the first time after spending the better part of the last 6 years as an assistant for the Miami Heat. Bernie's working the story, getting all the very latest details, and he'll have more on that tonight at 5. Meantime, still ahead, we have heard the horror stories. Now, another rideshare company is making plans to upgrade safety. We're going to talk about that in Trending Stories. And bargain shoppers could be the winners as the new price war is brewing. A retailer already known for good deals is promising to go even lower. Paula.
Workers are always busy as bees at manufacturing plants, but find out how actual bees are changing these workers.
All right, Paula, meantime, let's take you back to that breaking news out of Canton Township. Detroit police, with the assistance of Michigan State Police and the FBI, have dug up several graves. Now, we're told this is not a criminal investigation. This is happening at Knollwood Cemetery. Evidence techs are working on collecting DNA in an effort to solve several cold cases. Rob Maloney following the story and will provide an update on Local 4 News at 5.